Yo, I want to welcome everybody to the On the Map podcast. You already know who this is. I'm your host, Coach Paul. That handsome young fellow over there is my co-host, Jay. And we got a surprise episode. You know how we be doing these surprise episodes, Jay? Hey, I'm excited for this one, brother. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach Paul, for having me. Of course, since I'm the co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, another surprise episode. Honestly, we're just kind of winging it, but this is more of a week 0/week 1 city section matchup preview. We basically got 6 or 7 matchups that involve a city section team, and we just want to highlight and preview each matchup because we think those are the most those are the ones that stand out the most on paper.
Yes, they do. Man, I was looking at this week 0 schedule, man, and there's some games we got some fire games. But
Yes, sir.
before we get into this episode, I'd like to shout out our new sponsor, Black Market Chicken. Black Market Chicken is having a pop-up event Saturday, August 16th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. at 7238 Richfield Street in Paramount, California. It's plates are available until they sell out. It's a cashless event. So go try some fire wings. Thank you for becoming a sponsor, Black Market Chicken. We look forward to this partnership, and me and Jay definitely look forward to some fire wings when we
Yes,
pull up
sir.
when we pull up to the spot. But with that being said, let's kick this show off, Jay. What do we got first, man?
So for the first week 0 matchup, and this is a true week 0 matchup because we do have a couple week 1 matchups, but we just sandwiched them in together. We have Birmingham versus Hart. We highlighted this matchup mainly because it's a top dog of the city section playing a southern section team. Birmingham is infamously known for scheduling all southern section teams, and they open it up with the team that they played last season in Hearts, and they beat Hart. Oh no, Birmingham lost to Hart 35-9. So
Okay.
it did get a bit out of hand. So I'm interested in seeing this matchup. Truthfully, and this goes for a lot of the Southern Section teams, I don't know much about them. When I say I am very much tapped in with City Section, that's really it. Of course, I know like the top D1, D2 guys from the
Yeah.
Trinity League to the Inglewoods and whatnot. But Hart, I don't know too much about them. I know they were powerhouse maybe a decade ago, more or less, like a top dog in the state. But they're still a very good Southern Section team. For comparison, they finished in D6 last year for Southern Section playoffs.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I have for Hart. I don't know any players. Of course, I can look at the roster, but truthfully, I'd just be looking at size and weight, and I don't think that does Hart a lot of justice.
Man, I got you covered on that. Hey, so
Appreciate you. Thank you.
this matchup is going to be fire, man. So I'm looking at the quarterbacks, right? So we got two seniors facing off. We got Kevin Hawkins and Jacob Passano. Hope I said that right. If I slaughtered it, I apologize, young man. In 9 games, he threw for 2,200 yards. We already know what Kevin Hawkins did, man. Dual threat quarterback. You got a receiver in Paul Turner. You already know what that.
Yes, sir.
You know that young man is going to go out there and perform. The one thing that I'm really looking forward to see is how Braylon Morgan does, man. He was third in yards on the team last season as a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel like going into his junior year, I think his productivity it'll pick up. He showed a lot of upside last year as a sophomore. You know, young running backs in top programs like that may not always get a lot of burn, but he took advantage of his opportunities. And when I was looking at the stats, 57 carries, somewhere around there, that they're giving that young man the ball. So as he develops and he matures, you know, his game will as well. So I was looking at Hart's roster, dude, and they have a young man by the name of Maddox Frith Smith. They have him listed as a receiver and a QB. He's a junior, so we'll see what he does this season. But he could be their standout. One of Hart's standouts this year, man. For being a sophomore last year, he had a nice little role, but I see him stepping into a bigger role as a junior. But him being the backup quarterback and receiver, maybe he's a dual threat. Maybe the offense is going to go. You know, offensive coordinators like to change things up and add a little diverse stuff to their offense. And it looks like he may have took a couple snaps there last year too. So that matchup is going to be pretty legit, man. I'm excited for the defensive side of the ball.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so Birmingham is bringing senior linebacker Jesse Mancia, also junior linebacker Chris Barrera, and junior strong safety Ray Worthen. Um, man, those kids last year were balling. Like they were right behind their senior leaders in tackles. So their productivity showed me from last year that they're only on the rise, right? Like so this year they're due to have a breakout year, great program, great defensive staff, great coaching. Hart's team, man, dude, they have a kid named Matthew Charles who's listed. Bro, he's on JV. Like I was checking his stats because he was like up there as a stat leader. In 8 games as
Okay.
a freshman, he had 55 tackles. In 8 games, 55 tackles as a freshman. And then I checked the roster and he wasn't there. Like, so I'm trying to find this kid, right? I may be wrong, but they have him on JV. But if he's not on JV, this kid is going to ball out. Like he has a nose for the
Mhm.
football. Um, who else? I got senior linebacker Caden Kraft and then senior D tackle Wayman Deshaun Moore Jr. Um, these kids right now, like this defensive matchup, I think is going to be the key to both teams' success. Both quarterbacks show that they can sling the ball, bro. Like they can fling it, but they both can get outside the pocket and they can do some damage with their legs. So this week zero matchup is really I feel is going to come down to the defense and some of these young leaders standing up, bro. So that's like my take on it. Sorry for our listeners and stuff like that. I don't mean to get too statty, but like as the show progresses, you'll see that I kind of dive off of certain things. But I really wanted to focus on this because at the end of the day, Birmingham is still the top dog in the city. And I want to give them their flowers because they've earned it. Their athletes that are performing at a high level have earned it. So they're going up against the top dog. So this one was a little bit more in depth for me, man.
Exactly. Yeah, I just want to add a couple more things. As a whole, Birmingham, I think this game will definitely, for me at least, I'll see where they stand on how good they are this season because they
Yeah.
did schedule a Harvard Westlake, who I do think they will be, a Calabasas, who I think, while Calabasas has a couple good receivers, I think it'll be a good matchup. And this Hart matchup is kind of, I'm not too sure. I could see Birmingham winning, and I'll see a world where they lose. I'm just not too sure. Obviously, yes, with more research on my end
Right,
when
right,
it
right.
comes to Hart, I would have a better idea. But I think I'm gonna go with Birmingham, and I also just want to add on to the trenches. I'm really excited to see how good Birmingham's trenches are this year. They had their star D lineman Isaiah Willoughby. He checked out about a month ago, more or less, and he's now at Salesian in LA.
Yeah.
I'm still confident, and they also added a piece, Dallas Jones from Sierra Canyon. He'll be splitting reps with Braylon Morgan at right back, or not right back. Sorry, I'm thinking soccer, running back.
Yeah, yeah.
At running back, and I think Dallas Jones, he might play cornerback as well. I could be wrong. So there's a bit more dynamism, but I'm just excited. I also got to mention Birmingham was able to get a good class of 29 kids. So a freshman coming in, Nate Chandler,
Nice.
receiver. So a young kid. So we'll see how he'll develop. He'll be on the varsity team. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, I kind of get my prediction. I don't really have a score. It's high school football, so it could really be whatever. But I'm gonna just have I'm gonna edge Birmingham because they're a city team.
I gotta go. I gotta go with the City Boys here, man. Like, it's funny. So we have a couple matchups here where it's City teams versus Southern Section teams, and I'm rooting for the City. So my predictions are going
Yes, sir.
all City. Like we know what it is. Coach Paul, City Section, stand up.
Yes, sir. And that brings up my second matchup, our second matchup that you brought up, City versus Southern Section team. And this is a matchup I had to bring up. Coach Paul knows I'm a big Hamilton guy, Coach Asante guy. So I had to bring up their week one matchup against Gardena Serra. And the reason I brought it up is not necessarily because I think it'll be a close competitive game. I just think it'll be what's the word? I don't want to say a um a marquee game, but kind of one that puts Hamilton on the map. Not in the sense that we beat a juggernaut in Gardena Serra, but in the sense it's like, oh, Asante isn't playing. He's serious about rebuilding Hamilton.
Right.
He's scheduling a top 10, 15 program in California in Gardena Serra. And
Yeah.
I don't think whatever the score is going to be, I don't think any of those kids or those coaches should hang their head because they know the type of athlete and the type of lineman they'll see on that field that Friday is nothing compared to any city team. So I
Right.
think, I don't want to get too much into the weeds of it because quite frankly, it's not going to be close. I think Gardena Serra is a team that can be in D1 with all the Trinity League teams or in D2, a contender for D2. But it's the fact that Asante, he's a smart guy as well. He's not just going to go schedule Bishop Gorman modern day, like he has to think about his kids as well. So
Yeah.
this is kind of why I put him on there. I want to see how Thaddeus Bro, the number one class of 29 QB in my opinion, shows out. And then Christian Leslie is another. He's a Bosco transfer, linebacker, running back, a few other from city section schools. So yeah, I had to shout out Asante. Shout out to Coach Asante.
It's all good. Hey, and I respect it because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Jay. Like, um, yeah, you may get waxed. It's very possible, but you will find out how gritty your team is and how
Yes,
much heart your
yes,
team has by the
hmm
way they play this game. Whether they play if they give up in the first quarter or if they play and get waxed, but they're still fighting to the end of the game. Like this this game, honestly, like it's a win no matter what. Like if they
yeah,
win, it's awesome. If they lose,
yeah,
it's how they lose, how they take it, and how they bounce back from it. To be honest with you, especially if you have a young team and a young quarterback. He's a freshman, right? Um,
yeah. 29, yeah,
it, this will determine where your team stands mentally
yeah,
and physically. If they can hang, then you know what, city section, you may be right, Jay. We may have a sleeper in Hamilton, and
yeah.
Hamilton's gonna surprise some people, man. And I'm excited for that. And I wish Coach Asante and Hamilton all the best of luck in their week 1 matchup, and go do it.
Yeah, yeah. Last thing on that, I think that'll definitely help them prepare for a game I will be at. I think it'll be the game of their season in terms of importance and putting them on the map when they play Loyola. The reason I put that is Loyola's had an exodus of players. I don't know how good they are, I don't know how good they still are, but it's Loyola. So that's a matchup I'll definitely be at because I know for sure it'll be more competitive and it'll definitely, we'll see how good they are. So that's my last point on Hamilton.
All right. What we got next, Jay? Who's next?
So for our third matchup, we got once again a city versus Southern section. It is Carson versus Via Park.
Let's go.
Let's go. Do you wanna let me give my spiel on it real quick?
Yeah.
So we got Carson, who is consensus one or two, whoever you ask, team in the city section. 61 guys. A couple transfers came in, first year under Coach William Lowe. And they really, if there was an award for who won the offseason in terms of hype, definitely Carson, because they made a lot of lows in the summer. And I think you can credit that to their OC, Coach Edward Humphreys, because he's a great marketer. Marketing these kids on Twitter, has his own marketing firm or agency firm, something like that.
Yeah.
But when we get to the matchup, I think to a lesser degree, this will be kind of like a Hamilton versus Gardena Serra. I think the gap between Carson and View Park is way smaller than it is to a Hamilton and Gardena Serra.
Okay.
But Via Park's a great program. They finished, let me check. I know they're like a top 60 team. They finished 7-4, but they played teams like Inglewood, Yorba Linda, San Juan Hills. They only lost to three. They lost by three to Vista Marietta, and Via Park finished in Division 3 last year. So that's two divisions below D1, which is the modern days the Boscos. So
Yeah.
it's not a huge gap between them and Bosco. Um, I'm gonna be at this game. It's on a Saturday, so I'll go to a game on Friday. Coach he invited me out down to Orange County, and I'll be at that game. I'm really excited to see. Let's just get the ball rolling. There's been a lot of hype behind Carson, Chris Fields, the transfers that came in, Jordan Daniel, Tion Marshall, et cetera, et cetera. Speedy Myers from Southgate, who's now at Carson. I'm just excited to see how they can hang, if they can hang, or if they win, because I don't know, man. I don't know much about Via Park. I know they're a great program, finished D3 last year, and I'm just excited.
Bro, to express how excited I am for this game, like Like I got goosebumps. Like when I
Yes,
tell
sir.
you Chris Fields is my favorite quarterback in the LA City section, I am not sugarcoating it. I'm not. I respect everybody that we talked to last season on the show, every young man that we come across, even Mike Gonzalez, my quarterback. I love Mike
Yeah.
to death. I love Mike to death. Mike is my second quarterback in the LA City section. My number one quarterback in the LA City section this year is Chris Fields. And Carson will go as far as that young man will take him. The poise, the determination in this young man to go along with the coaching staff and the team that they built. They lost a major piece when they lost Amari, man.
Oh
But
yeah, I didn't bring that up. Yeah, but go
hey,
ahead. Go ahead.
but bro, he was. I'm not gonna put out where he was at in the depth chart. Let's just put they got two guys that they're not tripping. They're not like they love Damari and I heard some like there was some discontent when he left. Like it rubbed some people kind of the wrong way. Like they didn't want him to leave, but you know the young man made the best move for himself. But
Mhm.
bro, they still have two of the top receivers in the LA City section. They could be 1-2 in the LA City section. They could. Um, with the addition of Eric Speedy Myers, man, that backfield. Just to give you
Dynamic,
guys,
man.
just to give our viewers, what type of athlete Myers is. Myers, unfortunately, was ineligible till week 8 last year for us. Excuse me. Came in week 8, made a championship run with us, and still rushed for over 1,000 yards as a sophomore. This kid is a special talent. The fact that he was able to transfer, him and his family went through some stuff. They got situated over there. They were able to make it happen. I'm happy for the kid. Dude, Via Park's is no joke either, man. They have a
For
kid named
sure,
Lovey
for
Clark,
sure.
dude, a senior receiver. We got to throw against him. Kid makes some plays, bro. But
Oh, you
again,
you guys met? You guys came across Via Park
yeah, we
passingly?
went to we went
Okay.
to one of their little tourneys, like little passing leagues at their school, man. And they're a well put together team. They're a well coached team, man. Like they got some studs, and Southern section is a little different, boy. It's a little different.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Like
sir.
like all them kids looked and they had the same build, same stature, same height. Like Via Park is got a nice program, man, and shout out to the coaches over there. But I think if Carson goes in there and plays disciplined football, it's another Hamilton situation, Birmingham situation. If they lose, it's still a win. It's still a win.
Mhm.
Um, I'm really looking to, you know how key I am on Titus, man. Titus, I
Yes,
can't
sir.
pronounce your last name, so I'm
Salagi, Titus S. Titus
Titus
S.
Titus S. That's what I'm gonna call you. When we get you on the show, Titus, you can teach me how to pronounce your last name. Hey, man, sophomore free safety, strong safety, coming out there booming everything. Hey, but Via Park has got a safety in Sean Brines, bro, who's a junior. This kid wrecks stuff too, bro. This
Mhm.
kid, this kid can wreck. Like, I can't wait. This is going to be one hell of a matchup. I'm excited. Unfortunate, I'm not going to be able to be there. Like, man, I'm excited because they play on a Saturday. This would have been perfect. It's my
Yeah.
oldest daughter's birthday. I will be out of town. Happy birthday, Nani. I love you.
Happy birthday.
Nice shout out to my kid real quick. But yeah, this Carson Via Park game is going to be fireworks, man. And I think,
Mhm.
like I said, if it's disciplined football and they go in there with the mindset of we came here to win, we're not scared of anybody, and with the hype going into, and if Carson plays like we believe Carson can play like, they could pull out an upset, man. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah, I'm excited for this match. It'll really show us how where Carson really at because the next week they go to Dorsey, um, which will probably be another open division team, and then they play I think HP, but the week after that, so week 4 and 5, they play St. Pius, who's a CIF champion, and they go to North.
Mm-hmm.
North Torrance, not just North High School in Torrance. I know some people get confused sometimes. So they have like, oh, they played Palos Verdes in week 3. My apologies.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
have Dorsey and Palos Verdes. So I don't know. I'm just really interested in seeing, how high I could really raise the bar for this Carson team, and this View Park will tell them a lot. If the score is 34 to a donut to 0,
yeah,
okay, maybe I'll lower him a little bit. But if it's a 28-14 game, Carson didn't roll over, okay, now I'm interested in seeing how good they can really be. And this is kind of my last two points actually. My second to last point is Carson has lost some guys, as you mentioned. Amari Powell, class of 26 receiver. He transferred. He's at Mary Star now, which is another good program. Who you'll be seeing, Coach Paul. Quick side note, because Southgate plays Mary Star, so you'll be seeing Amari Powell on the field in a couple weeks. And they lost Troy's sidekick on the field, the other side of the other safety, Troy T.
yeah,
Similarly to Titus, I cannot pronounce your last name, but I'm gonna call you Troy T.
yeah,
He's now at Bishop Montgomery, who's had a lot of hype, good or bad, over this offseason. So there are two huge pieces. I know they had some guys that were going to check in, didn't end up checking in. My second to last point is kind of an overarching message for the last 3 matchups, because all three of the last matchups we had were all City versus Southern Section team. And the overarching message I have is the trench game. And what I mean by that is when it comes to Southern Section, they get the top guys in the trenches, O-line and D-line. They get the size, they get the athleticism, they get the IQ. So I really want to see how much of a difference the trench game is when we're talking about some of these top teams in the LA City versus some of these top teams in the Southern Section. I want to see, quite frankly, how different they are in terms of talent level, size, athleticism, etc., etc.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of the last point I have on the last 3 games, because our next matchup is a city versus city matchup, and it's a very exciting one.
Ooh, let's
It's a
go.
very exciting one. We have Eagle Rock versus Kennedy, and for the viewers who don't know, these two teams are both kind of in the same spot when it comes into where we think they will be seated. We think both of them are kind of scratching into the Open, and since there's only 8 teams in the Open, it's very likely that if Kennedy gets into the Open, Eagle Rock will be left out, or vice versa. If Eagle Rock gets into the Open division, then Kennedy will be left out. And I think this matchup being so early, not only will this have, you know, stakes on what's the word, bragging rights. Not only
Right.
will this have bragging rights over the city section, this matchup will probably end up playing a factor in October or November when the playoff seedings come out. So, let's say a Kennedy beats Eagle Rock, this win might be what the algorithm in the computer says, okay, now Eagle Rock's in the Open division, or vice versa. So this game, not only in week 0, we're already talking about playoff stakes. So this
Right.
tells you how important this matchup is. But I'm gonna give it up to Coach Paul to get a little bit into the statistics.
Hey man, when I took a look at this too, when I took a look at week 0 and I saw this matchup on the schedule, I was just like, "Are you kidding me? Like we're gonna get this we're gonna get we're gonna get some of the top teams in the city to just let's set the season off. Like let's do it right now." Um, dude, Liam Paston versus Diego Montez, that is going to be fireworks.
Yeah, that battle of the
Fireworks.
QBs.
The battle of the QBs, but even not even the QBs, man. We'll go offense for offensive spot, right? I'll go senior running back. I'll go Nathan Scheibler versus Josue Sandoval. I'll go receiver for receiver, Francisco Ceja versus Brandon Ruffalo. Bro, like these teams match up so evenly. It's gonna come down to defense, and honestly, some of the Eagle Rock has a solid defense. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they have some standouts. I wish I
Mhm.
could have got the defensive stats from last year so I can compare everything. But like the major standout for me, like Kennedy's defense, dude. Like they have their senior DN James Montez, their junior linebacker Matthew Quintanilla, and there's their other senior linebacker David Tejeda. So like it's gonna come down to what defense can make a stop. Honestly, who can stop the most high powered offensive weapons that each team has? and I think I think both offensive coordinators are going to be in their bag, even though it's week 0. But this is going to show you what the defensive coordinators really like, how they scheme against each other, because this matchup is going to be it's going to be fireworks, man. This is going to be a great week 0 matchup, and I can't wait to see who wins. It's like you said. I feel the winner of this edges the other one out of open, depending on how the season ends, or they both make open based on this performance.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, they could make open. One could be left out because they lost this matchup.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's a problem that the computer has to figure out since we
Yeah,
don't
right?
figure it out. It's a problem for the computer. But yeah, this is a good matchup, man. Two high-powered offenses. Two of the top QBs in the city section: Diego Montes from Kennedy, Liam Paston from Eagle Rock, and um, Coach Paz. You know, I was at a couple. Oh, actually, only one passing tournament when it was Southgate, Palisades, Eagle Rock, a few other teams not too long ago. And
Yeah.
on Eagle Rock's sideline, I noticed this guy in street clothes, 6'3", 6'4", he looks lean, looked like a receiver. I don't know if it's a player or an older brother, but if it's a player, I don't know his name because obviously there was no like paper for the rosters. But if that guy's a player, I'm sure that's a weapon that Liam will use to his advantage. You know, that size. Um, yeah, Kennedy's got a couple transfers in. I spoke on it a few episodes ago. A couple kids from Grant. Sorry, that's Van Nuys. A kid from Birmingham, etc., etc. And I
Right.
think this will be one of those games where it'll be 34-42, something like that. Just high scoring game. You know,
Yeah.
taking shots, taking shots. I could be wrong, of course. I'm not a football guru. That's just
Right.
my prediction.
Hey, Kennedy's that slept on school out in Granada Hills, man. Like,
Yeah.
I think I think if Kennedy just gets a couple more pieces, like, I think Kennedy takes that like jump above like a couple other teams that are out there,
Hmm.
and they could be in the mix, man. Like, they really could. Um, but like all those charter schools out there, like, I'm jealous, man. They got riches out there, bro. Like, they
Yeah,
they got kids for days
yeah,
out.
dude. They're in Granada Hills and they're not a charter school, so the fact they can attract that much talent when they're competing with, you know, a Birmingham who's 15, 20 minutes away, a Bishop Alemany who I know isn't the best anymore, but a few years ago, one of the top programs with that kid from Miller Moss
Yeah.
from USC, Sierra Canyon across the valley. You know, they're competing with a lot of schools when it comes to football talent. And shout out to Coach Cassidy for really reviving this football program and making them a consistent D1 team. I know they won a title a few years ago. They're really pushing for the Open now. They have a couple class of 28 guys.
Okay.
So I'm just excited. I think Kennedy is definitely one of the teams with really high upside in the city section. It'll be interesting to see how they move on from Diego Montes after this year. But
Right.
I think we're kind of diving into a different
Yeah.
topic. But the point is, this is if you're a city section fan, you live in the valley or just outside the San Fernando Valley, you have to be at this game, week 0, because it has a lot of playoff implications, a lot of talent, and it's gonna be an exciting game. Is
Yeah.
how I'll put it.
Yeah. I
For
agree.
sure, for sure. And for the next one, we have another city versus Southern Section team. Sorry, we have San Pedro versus Torrance. Now, this is of all the Southern Section teams versus city teams we've highlighted. This is the most evenly matched up, and dare I say, maybe Pedro's favored just a little bit.
Okay.
Um, Similarly to all the other Southern Section teams, I don't know a whole lot about Torrance. I know their head coach Raymond Carter from a few interactions on Twitter, but that's about it. I'm just excited because this Pedro team, I saw a tweet earlier today actually that I don't know who it was, but he was basically saying that like he thinks San Pedro is one of the most slept on teams in Southern California.
I'd agree.
So maybe, you know, I know Pedro pretty well. I don't know them the best, but I know them pretty well. They have a lot of weapons that we've talked about. I'm just excited to like I feel like I've said the same thing because I'm just overall excited for the season to just start, and it's just true. But this matchup, I honestly like I favor Pedro just a little bit. And this definitely favoritism and bias on my side, I will admit. I'm
Right.
not gonna lie, but I mean, look, Seth Solorio, Jackson Brown, who picked up his first D1 offer earlier this summer. There's the main guy, Elias Redlew,
Yep.
6'2", 6'3". David Medina on the O-line, Keyshawn Davis. Man, there's athletes all over the board. And I'm
Right.
excited to see Torrance because they also play a few other Southern Section teams. So this will really kick off their season, you know? They're not going to start off with a cupcake as some coaches or players say, you know? They're getting right into the fire.
Yeah. Hey man, the excitement around Solorio is something that is like it's I don't want to use the word underwhelming, but I don't think he's getting enough credit or enough recognition just because of who he was behind last year. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
And he split time as well. He split reps, yeah.
yeah, hey, Geronimo, right? Was his last
hmm
name? Yeah.
hmm
Um, that dude was a baller. And the fact that Solorio sat behind him and just waited his time and didn't transfer, he said, you know what? I'm a sophomore. Uh my QB1 is a senior. I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna develop, and I'm gonna take over as a junior. Like this kid has he should have more hype than he has. And
hmm
I honestly think San Pedro being slept on is gonna work in their favor.
Yeah, that's good.
It's
You
gonna
always
work
want to be
in their
slept
favor
on.
because they don't have any hype to live up to. None. All the pressure right now is on Birmingham. All the hype right now. Kevin Hawkins, you got Chris Fields, you have Liam coming off being the number one quarterback in LA City section, excuse me. Um, man, Solorio could come out and just by far top everybody. He
Yeah.
has he has no pressure. Right now we have them, well, me and you had them flip. You had them 2, I had them 3, right? Yeah.
I did 3. No,
Yo, you
we
had them.
agreed.
Oh, we both. Oh, yeah, that's right. We agreed that they're the third best team in the city right now. What do you really got? You don't have
Yeah.
anything to lose. You have nothing to lose. Everybody's thinking the top dog is Carson and Birmingham. Cool. Let the pressure be on them. We're gonna come out here and
Mm,
we're gonna slap some teams around. I'm gonna be a young QB, my first year starting, and I'm gonna surprise some people. They have some young stars on that team, man. Let me tell you. Um, San Pedro is one of the most. I would agree that they are the underrated team in the city, but I won't go as far as that they don't have the respect of everybody because everybody
yeah.
in the city knows who they are, and they respect who they are because when we see them on, I think they're on somebody's schedule. They're on somebody's schedule, and I'm just like, you sure you want to do that? Like, you sure you want to do that this early? Like,
Yeah.
that could demoralize a team, right? Excuse me. But either way, that's going to be a great game. I
It
hope
is.
I hope they pull it out. Like I really do. And if they don't, it's just like any other team. It's just like all of us city teams playing Southern Section teams in week 0 and week 1. A loss it's not really a loss if it's a
Yeah.
game. It's a win in other ways. So, um, shout out to San Pedro.
Yeah.
And I hope
Yeah, they
yeah,
they lost by 3 last season, 24-21. So I know the returning players and
yeah.
Coach Walsh's staff, I know they have a sour taste, so
Oh
they're
yeah,
looking for the get back as these
oh yeah.
kids say, the
And
get back. And
But Torrance is no joke, man.
yeah, they went to D5 last year, so
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be a good matchup. And man, I didn't even think about that, like, because when you brought up the hype point, I
yeah,
was kind of thinking about your rankings and my rankings, and you're right. I mean, Birmingham's gonna have the expectation. Carson, as I said earlier, won the summer. They have the most hype going into the season.
yep.
Um, Palisades, there's hype around it because 4-star transferred in, returning Jack Thomas.
Hmm.
Hamilton, definitely in my eyes has hype.
Yeah,
Not maybe, probably not as a top seed in open, but they have hype. King Drew, there's hype around it too. They're the reigning D1 champs. Coach Torres knows what he's doing, and like I think of who's rest, who else is left in the open. It's really Banning and Pedro, and like as you said, it's you don't want any hype if you're a coach or a player. Like forget about us. Don't mention us in any articles. We'll just go out there and show it, and we'll be champs. So that's a good point that you brought up. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, because like our next team, like I'm gonna skip the one that was gonna go before this just because you brought him up. Like this Banning Southeast game, dude. This is
Yeah.
another city section game that's gonna highlight where the people stand.
Hmm.
Southeast had such a good year, but they lost Edward Rivera. So
That's
we're now
huge.
that's huge, right? Now we're gonna see what Bryce Johnson, Eddie Bryant, and there. You know what? They didn't only lose Eddie Rivera; they lost Marlon Watson. They have an
Yeah.
incoming freshman coming in. His name's Seven. Like the kid has all the talent in the world. We'll see how they develop as a young team because the main thing about Southeast right now is from word on the street, just everything around it is just maybe their line isn't the same.
Hmm.
But that Banning team, they lost Steven Perez.
Yeah.
From what I know, the quarterback is going to be a young man by the name of Noah.
Noah.
Huh?
Noah something.
Noah, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Noah, I'm sorry, I don't know your last name. I'm actually gonna look it up, Noah. We'll look up your
I
last
think
name.
it's like I know it's definitely
Is it Taloa? Shit.
something with a T. Noah T. I know it's Noah T for sure.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna do that to this young man because
Yeah,
if
we
he's
butcher
heard this
every name, man. We got to find out.
we gonna find out right now. So come on, coaches, update your rosters on Max Prep, man. We going week 0. I know it's scrimmage week. We're going week 0. We got week 1 coming up. You're killing me. You're killing me.
Yeah, and we also got to get better at pronouncing names.
Yes. Hey,
Anything more than
it's
6 letters, we can't.
It's Tuvalu. Noah
Noah
Tuvalu.
Tuvalu?
Yeah.
Tuvalu, okay.
All right. Hey, Oos, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, no, but Noah coming in as a going in as a junior, like Steven Perez those are big shoes to fill, man. Like
Yeah.
nobody's gonna ask this kid to be Steven, but hey, that's what you're getting compared to. It's like taking over
Yeah.
for Aaron Rodgers, like and stuff like that. Like when some of these big names leave and then you have the next person to step up, like there's a lot of expectations. So this Banning Southeast game is gonna be it's gonna be very telling for both. I have high expectations for Squiddy. And for those who don't know, Bryce Johnson, the quarterback for Southeast, also goes by Squiddy. So does his dad. Shout out to both of you guys. Um,
Shout out.
this young man over the summer, like you saw videos of him working, and then he lost some crucial pieces. So it'll be very interesting to see where they stand in this whole thing once this is all said and done. So, I'm looking forward to that Bounding Southeast game. That's going to be a great week 0 game for me.
It'll be a good matchup, and as you brought up earlier, it'll kind of set the expectation on just how good the Southeast is going to be without Edward Rivera.
Right.
For those who don't know, 3-star running back Edward Rivera transferred out, who's now at Compton. You know, Compton's been a good team down in the World League, so we'll see how good they are this year. But you know, that's a huge piece. Quite frankly, I don't know how many yards he rushed for. I wouldn't be surprised if it was close to 2,000 last season. He was a huge part of the offense. Losing him, they also lost Marlon Watson to Inglewood. But they did get a few guys in, you know, Adonis Washington, who's only a class of 28 from Dorsey, passes the eye test, 6'3". Johnny Calhoun, who is essentially Edward Rivera's backup, who
Yeah.
transferred in from Lusinger,
Right.
who was originally at Carson. I don't know if he ever checked in, but then he made the move over officially to Southeast. So they do have some pieces, you know, as you mentioned, Eddie Bryant, the 7 kid. I haven't heard of him, but
Seven Hill.
Seven Hill, okay.
Yeah.
It's a cool name, Seven. Apparently he's good, so I'll take Coach Paul's word for it because he knows how to talk ball. And then if you flip it over to Banning, you got Noah Tavalu. Sorry for pronouncing your name wrong, Noah. You know, and it's funny you brought up the Trench game because I was able to see Southeast Trench at Carson's College Showcase. To be honest, size-wise, they were the smallest guys there. And for context, San Pedro, Carson, and King Drew were the teams there. So all open division teams. They were definitely way smaller. Um, I did see more losses than wins on the one-on-one reps.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have added more guys. Some guys maybe couldn't go to the showcase.
Right.
This was in May, so that was 3 months ago. So things could have changed. I think that's ultimately where the game will be won. I know Manning is kind of moving Cody Galloway into a linebacker role, but if he comes off the edge this season, or in this game rather, I have a hard time seeing who's really going to stop him, even if it is a double team, Because if it's a
Yeah.
double team, it'll open up. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I have on that.
Cool. So we all know who we save for last, and honestly, I only saved us for last because we have one of the best we have one of the best games going on week 0. Like,
Yes, sir.
so before I touch on us, there's a couple week 0 games, a couple city section teams that have games. It's not that we didn't pick you because we don't feel that your your game is not up there. So I don't want you to feel slighted in any way. Just know that me and Jay will probably pop up with another surprise
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
episode
yeah.
and
And
we'll cover you.
also, Yeah, and also, I highlighted three games at the very end. We won't go over it. We'll just do our prediction. We'll do win loss, what do you think? And that's it. So we have three extra games for the fans who the
Yeah. So
sickos.
the one of the marquee matchups in week 0, man, is Southgate versus La Mirada. Like,
Hmm.
La Mirada is a top Southern Section team. They're in one of the best leagues in Southern Section. Um, they may have had a slippage here and there, but it's not major. Like, it's not one of those things where they're a pushover. But with the talent that we have at Southgate right now, with Mike Gonzalez, Nico Quintanilla, Nicholas Fonseca, you have Ifani Lewis, and we have Johnny Williams. Man, like, uh, I even got a sleeper for you, man. We got some kids that have stepped up and just decided to take on things and step up on their own, man. So this game is going to be fireworks for us. Um, I feel that our game is going to be something that some people may not expect from us. There's some things that we definitely are going in knowing we have to do right, or this game can get very ugly very quickly. But if we do what we're supposed to do, we could walk out of La Mirada with a win. We could.
Mm.
Um, this is going to be on the shoulders of Mike Gonzalez, our quarterback. Our two players of the year, Nico and Nick. But I want to give some shout out to some of our other guys. Like Tommy Gutierrez, man, our junior running back that's stepping in for Speedy Myers in the last 2 weeks of practice. This kid has stepped up and he's developed and he's maturing, man. We have a senior running back named Joshua Navarro. Um,
Hmm.
Navarro had a hell of a season last year, and it was his first year playing football. So now that he's had a full season and an off season to prepare, like, we have some kids that are growing into some football players, man. And like I said, even if we lose, it's still going to be a win, man. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to see how gritty our kids are. We got Edward Castro, our defensive lineman, who I feel is going to be the defensive player of the year. He has the ability to be defensive player of the year. Um, and no matter where we end up in city section, this kid has a high motor. Um, and don't sleep on La Mirada. Like, I'm not sleeping on any La Mirada
Yeah.
players at all. Shout out to my nephew, uh, Levi Rain Reyes, plays for La Mirada. He's a
Okay.
senior safety out there. Um,
Okay.
so
There we go.
so I'm looking forward to having a little family rivalry go.
Tell him to drop a pick or two.
Shoot, he gonna come out there trying to boom shit like his daddy was back in the day. Like
Yeah.
their family nickname
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Boom for a reason. So shout out to
Okay.
Levi.
Cool. Cool.
But yeah, man, that I don't have like a necessarily like winner of this game, because
Yeah.
to me it doesn't matter. It's gonna be a win no matter what. I just know for a fact, like, our kids are ready, and I know their kids are ready. So this game is gonna be
Yeah.
one for the ages, and I think it's gonna be something that our program can stand proud of for a very long time.
Hmm.
that we were able to assemble a team that competed with a top Southern Section team. And if
Yeah.
you look at our schedule, we got 4 more, like 3 other teams to go with it. But this week 0 matchup is something that we're excited for. I'm excited for. Our kids are excited for. And I hope we're able to put on for the city for this, man. Like, I really do. Like, this is going to be something special for everybody.
Yes, sir. The thing I'm most interested in for sure is the trench game. I'm looking at La Mirada's roster. I'm seeing 6'3", 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 310 pounds. I've seen your linemen size wise. I'm not saying anything on ability, like technical ability. Size wise, they definitely have the advantage over you guys. So that's what I'm most interested in. Because athlete versus athlete, I have full confidence in you guys being able to hang with a team like La Mirada. It's just a trench game.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to go on too long because I know you got to head out soon. But
Yeah.
yeah, put on for the city.
That's the plan.
That's what I can say. Put on for the city. Yeah.
That is
And then to wrap up this show, I kind of just have a couple matchups that I highlighted, and you just give me your winner. I'll give my winner. No explanation needed.
Let's do it.
So yeah, first matchup, King Drew versus LA Jordan. I got King Drew.
King Drew.
All right. Second matchup, I got Gardena at Gardena hosting Crespi.
Ooh, Crespi.
I have we'll go Gardena. I'm gonna go Gardena 2 in a row, 2 years in a row. Second to last matchup, we got Marquez hosting Verdugo Hills.
Oh, Marquez.
Marquez, Elijah Staples. Okay.
Yes.
And then for the last one, might make you think just a little more, team Garfield's gonna host Bakersfield High.
Garfield.
Garfield?
Yeah.
I'll go Garfield as well, for sure.
All right.
So yeah, that's
I got
what
one
Coach
for
and
you,
I
though.
had.
I have
Yes,
to
sir.
add this to you pick.
Yes, sir.
Huntington Park versus Village Christian.
Where is Village Chris? I don't even know where that is.
Sun Valley.
Sun Valley. I got HP.
I got HP too. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out HP.
Hey, so we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the On the Map podcast. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Do us a favor. Share. We don't even care if you subscribe. If you do, we would love to have you. We just want to share our show with everybody around the city section, even people in the southern section. The further this show goes, the more love that these athletes around the city can get. Shout out to our sponsors. Black Market Chicken. Don't forget he's got a pop.
Yep.
They got a pop-up event coming up this weekend. And Never Waver Apparel. But until next time, hey, you know what it is. Peace.